It's a tale as old as time. 4 kids solving mysteries in a psychedelically painted van with their talking dog. You may think I'm joking, but Scooby Doo has been around a long time, since 1969 in fact, and I'm not hyperbolizing when I say it is my favorite cartoon of all time. I started watching the show when I was a little kid growing up in the early 2000s, both the new episodes and the original series, and it never felt stale. A little dated, sure, but it was never boring. So, inevitably, what do you do when there's something that kids love? You make it into a video game, of course. Growing up, I had a number of different Scooby Doo games. Scooby Doo Unmasked for the Game Boy Advance, Scooby Doo Cyber Chase for PS1, and of course, probably the most well-known game, Scooby Doo Night of 100 Frights for the GameCube. Before I begin, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one, and let me know in the comments if there are any games that you'd like to see me talk about in the future. Now, let's solve some mysteries, gang. Scooby Doo Night of 100 Frights is definitely a product of its time, and by its time, I mean the era in the 2000s where pretty much every kids show and movie was being turned into a 3D platformer. They were seriously everywhere. I've already talked about a few of them on this channel. Go watch those, they're pretty good videos. Most of the time, these games were just cash grabs. Platformers like this are really easy to make, and with a well-known IP already attached, it's even easier to sell. It's kinda like a lunchbox, where if there's nothing on it, it's boring and no kid's gonna want it. But if you slap a Scooby Doo sticker on it, well, baby, you got a stew going. But while Night of the 100 Frights was definitely a product of its time, I've always felt there was something a bit more that made it feel special. It does a far better job matching the tone and ideas of the TV show than even some of the TV show does. Like this. What the hell is this? I'd much rather play Night of 100 Frights any day. The game started production in 2000, and it was originally envisioned as an action game featuring Scooby and Shaggy, as well as hand-drawn cutscenes done in-house at Hanna-Barbera. That version of the game was sadly cancelled, and the production was restarted, and we got the game we have now, which was released in 2002. The game is pretty much exactly like watching an episode of Scooby Doo, except a lot longer and with a lot more tedious platforming. The story goes a little something like this. Daphne's friend, Holly Graham, needs help finding her missing uncle, the famous inventor Alexander Graham. The gang arrives at the Graham's house, Mystic Manor, where a mysterious villain, the Mastermind, voiced by Tim Curry, has claimed that he is holding the inventor hostage and that all of the gang's past villains are back to cause trouble. The gang gets split up, so it's up to Scooby to save the day by collecting inventions and Scooby snacks to help him uncover who the Mastermind really is. Night of 100 Frights did fairly well sales-wise, selling about 1.8 million copies across 3 consoles by 2006. The game also held the highest honor of being ranked the 62nd highest-selling game between 2000 and 2006. Take that, Super Mario Sunshine. There are a few different areas in the game, but they all pretty much have the same basic idea. Jump, collect Scooby snacks, and make your way through the level. Occasionally, you'll run into a snack gate, which are one of the 2 main hurdles in the game. In order to open one of these snack gates, you need a certain number of Scooby snacks. And particularly on your first playthrough, or when you're a kid, this can be very aggravating. Certain gates require a ton of snacks to open, so to say the least, it's a bit of the pain in the ass. The other big hurdle is Professor Graham's inventions. This game, like so many others from around this time, is a Metroidvania, where you'll travel through areas, but some stuff will be locked off until you have inventions to get through. This includes a wide assortment of items, like spring shoes that allow you to double jump, an umbrella that allows you to float, and a pair of yellow rain boots that let you jump when walking on tar. Pretty standard stuff, really. The game also features a really extensive lore section with its monster token collectibles. Monster tokens are placed throughout the game, and when you collect one, you can visit the basement of Mystic Manor and read about all the different Scooby-Doo villains who are featured in the game. It's not an essential or even important part of the game, but it's a nice touch, especially for die-hard Scooby-Doo fans like myself. So far, I've just been talking a lot about what the game is, But why does this game still hold up? In a similar vein to other 2000s nostalgia fests like The Simpsons Hit and Run and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, the game seems really innocuous at first. But there's more to it than just nostalgia for all these games. There's a reason people remember these games now, and it comes down to the heart that went into them. It is literally the easiest thing in the world to take a popular IP like SpongeBob or Scooby Doo and throw together a crappy platformer. The game sells for the character alone, but to go that extra step and show that the creators actually care about the game that they're making, that really shows in these games. Trust me, there are a lot of bad Scooby Doo games, and SpongeBob games, and Simpsons games, but some shine through even now, and the heart is why. The other important reason for these games' longevity is their unwavering community support. Lots of these 2000s games have been brought back into the public eye by speedrunners. Hell, I even took the time to learn a speedrun for this game just because I love it so much. I don't plan on trying to practice and become the best at it, but it's a really fun way to re-experience a game that I loved so much growing up. Nostalgia has been really important for me this last year, so definitely expect more trips down memory lane like this in the future. But for now, take some time for yourself. Go play a game that you remember from your childhood. Your Mario, your Sonic, whatever game, it doesn't really matter. Just go play it and remember all the good experiences that it gave you. Because that's what gaming is really about. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if there are any games that you'd like to see me talk about in the future. Okay, y'all. Peace out. I'll catch you on the flip side.